It's used in science fiction films. You know, the guy stands under the light shines, his body is disassembled and reassembled somewhere else. Okay? Here the writer's being very sarcastic because there's no parking. Where are the people, how are they going to get the people into the stadium in time for the kickoff? Nowhere to park, nowhere to put their cars. So he's saying, well, we could perhaps beam them in, you know, shine a big light and just put them in the stadium. He's being sarcastic, okay? You understand? Teleport? Tele means far, port means to carry. You see this in science fiction films, okay? Move from one place to another by disassembling a body or an object and reassembling it elsewhere. In other words, suck up all the atoms and change it, move it somewhere else. So far, we can't do it. Maybe 20 years from now we can. But right now, no. What he's doing is making a sarcastic remark about there's no parking, how are we going to get all these people into the stadium in time for the kickoff? Do you remember the problem they had the first day of the Rugby World Cup in Auckland? Trains broke down. Most of the people got to the stadium an hour after the game had started. The game was nearly over by the time they got to the stadium. They're going to have the same problem here. That's what he's saying. Okay? Kickoff is the start of a game, okay? Kickoff. What's that mean? The conference kicks off at 6 p.m. Starts. Kick-off here means start. Conference means... I just have one final request. Once committed or dedicated to this build means building the stadium, there is an inevitable soul searching. Inevitable means unavoidable. This is a famous statement. Death and taxes are inevitable.
That's a really good expression.
You can't avoid them, okay? We're all going to die at some time, and taxes, you're going to be taxed on something, okay? So, death and taxes are inevitable, cannot be avoided. What do I mean by soul searching? Soul searching. Deep thinking. Deep thinking. Soul searching. The family did a lot of soul searching before emigrating. I'm sure all of you did it. You just didn't wake up Sunday morning and said, oh, we're off to New Zealand on Monday. You thought about it. Education, health, all that sort of stuff. You did all that before you made your final decision. That's soul searching. Deep rational thinking. Soul searching. Okay? We all do it. And blame storming. Blame storming, figuring out who are we going to blame if things go wrong. Playing the blame game. blame game, very common expression, the search for who to blame. Who can we blame for this mess up? Who can we blame because this is not working? Okay? Kids do it very easily. The oldest usually blames the youngest. Okay? The blame game. As we seek the culprits, who's a culprit? Guilty person. Comes from the Latin culpa, meaning fault. The culprit is the guilty person. Comes from the Latin culpa, which means fault. Okay? So, as we seek or look for the persons to blame and a way out of the financial pressure. Okay? Who can we blame when things go wrong? Who can we blame when we want the money? Okay? This always happens in major public projects, and that's true. Okay? Can I please ask that all politicians and luminaries, who's a luminary? Think of lumen, light, an important person. Luminary is an important person, okay? Someone who's rich, famous, maybe holds high position, a mayor, prime minister, someone like that. Someone who's important, okay? So keen on, if you're keen on something, you... That's true. Every house I go to, when I teach students, all my Korean students, there's always a set of golf clubs in the shed, okay, in the garage. Most of my students, their parents love the golf. Mum and Dad play golf a lot.
That's right.
Okay? So most Koreans, if you're keen on, you like it a lot. Okay? He's keen on that young woman, he likes that young woman. He's attracted to that young lady. Okay? He wants a date. So keen on committing the city to such huge and unknown expenditure, spending money. What's the opposite of expenditure? Income, money coming in. Expenditure, money going out. Income, money coming in. Okay? Append means attach. Attach. That's where we get the word appendix from. A lot of books have an appendix, okay? The story, then they add something at the end. And then you've got an appendix in your body. It sort of sticks down like that. It's in addition to the muscle. And that becomes appendicitis, which can kill you if it's not treated. Okay? The appendix gets inflamed, swells up, and if it breaks, you get peritonitis, which will kill you. That's how my grandmother died, and my sister ended up appendicitis. Take it to the hospital, snip, finished. Done. Okay? But here, to append is to add their initials. What are your initials? Initials? First letters of your name. Okay? Kim Jones, initials will be KJ. First name. Okay? To affidavit. What's an affidavit? It's a Latin term. It means it's a sworn statement. You make a statement, you sign it, and you swear that it's true. Swear that it's true. Okay? Affidavit is a sworn legal document. They're used in courts a lot. Okay? It will make the public inquiry much cheaper down the track. Down the track means
Down the tracks. Follow the tracks.
down the track means later on. Track means a road, the dirt road. So down the track means later on. So what he's saying here is, yes, we will build it, but if we're going to build it, make sure we find out who's building it. Make sure they put their initials to the contract so we can, if anything goes wrong, we can go to these people. And not just have a blank thing and don't know who to chase. Okay? That's what he's saying. Okay, if you want to build it, let's build it. But let's have some way of getting at the people who mess it up, if they mess it up. Okay? That's what he's saying there. Okay?
But
Any
it's going to
questions?
be too late anyway, once they build.
I know. Too late, what you going to do? What you going to do? I mean, the guy that built the CCTV place in Christchurch, he caused it, bad building, it collapsed, 100 people died, 115 people died. He's free, not a day in jail. Okay?
How come is a
Because that's the legal system we have here, okay? He's free, he's never been charged. Well, he went to court, and I don't think they ever found anything that they could prove, and he's got away. Designed a faulty building, 115 people died, and he has to spend a day in jail, okay? And that's what he's worried about here. What happens if we build a stadium, and one day it collapses? Well, who's to blame? Who are we going to find out? The builders, the managers, whatever, okay? So let's get all that ready now, so we can chase them up if we have to, okay?
anyway? This is a personal opinion.
It's his person.
Anyway, your
He's
opinion.
against it, okay? The other side was for it, okay?
He's a journalist or something, politician.
No, I think he's a builder, I think.
Builder. Okay.
Professor of Construction Management at AUT.
Yeah.
Okay, so he runs a course at AUT.
Okay.
Okay?
He's a teacher.
I don't like AUT.
Why?
I think it sucks, okay?
Why does that?
You pay your money, you pass. And why I say that? Because I've taught many students English and taken English subjects at AUT, and their stuff has been bad, but they're still passing. So you tell me how it works, okay?
How about MIT?
Who?
MIT.
He's a politics.
Manukau Institute.
MIT.
I haven't had any contact with Claire, but I hate to be cynical, I hate to have a negative bias, but money talks, okay? And these institutions are out to make money. I mean, let's do it, let's face it. And they're going to pass people, okay? Because if they get a reputation for failing people, people aren't going to go there. So they pass people. And I know, I've had students, one Korean young woman, she came to my class when I was teaching in Iraqi. Her English was terrible, okay? And it was absolutely bad. She left the class, about a month later she came back, she sat the English test, IELTS test, and I said, how'd you do? She said, I got a 7 on it.
Oh, wow.
And I said, no, I didn't say anything, I said, congratulations. What I'm thinking is, how in the hell did you get 7? I know your skill, how in the hell did you get 7? That's what I was thinking.
They got a
Okay?
trick there.
I taught her for a while, and I know her level.
Yeah.
She couldn't write a sentence
Yeah.
by herself,
Oh, really?
and she got 7, which is quite high.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm thinking, how did you get 7, lady? A lot of these institutes, they give the students the answers.
Yeah.
Okay, they practice just like NCA.
Yeah.
The NCA students, they know what the exam's going to be at the beginning of the year, and they practice the whole year for it. Okay, and so they pass. Okay, and the requirements aren't very strict, aren't very strong. Okay, I know, I teach them. I teach year 11, 12 and 13 students.